What's up, kind-hearted Earthlings? Thank you very much for clicking this video. You are loved and respected. Feel welcome here, where we are all about spreading love, peace, unity, and forgiveness across the whole world. We do this through reacting together, all types of videos, good vibes, work, name it. You see, with the intentions of spreading unconditional love straight out of Africa with good vibes, lots of good vibes. Let us know where you're watching from, hit the like button and watch till the end. Let's dive in, man.
Oh my.
We hit some iceberg.
We hit some ice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. Oh.
We hit some iceberg.
We hit some ice. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that is unbelievable! What type of creature is that?
Stay away from people who's cool with people who ain't cool with you. They play both sides. Facts.
Oh my god. Oh man! This looks beautiful. Some guy here skating in ice. Oh, this looks very wonderful, man, and lovely. Oh, this is great. You see, I have a friend of mine that usually does this skating, and he tells me that it is really good for the mind. You see, please, if you are watching out there and you have ever tried this or you usually do this, leave some comment. How is the experience, man? In the brain, the body. Oh, man, this looks really cool. I'd like to try this, man. Oh, this is smooth. Oh, this is great, man. You see, humans are full of good vibes, and they're just amazing in amazing ways, man. That's lovely. This, what do you think about that? Do you do that? in
What's a
country?
conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in?
That we don't know the truth about the lands that we live on. Let this video explain. Yet, it distorts the relative size of nations and continents. Are you saying the map is wrong? Oh dear, yes. Now look at Greenland. Okay. Now look at Africa. Okay. The two land masses appear to be roughly the same size. Yes. Would it blow your mind how I told you that Africa is in reality 14 times larger? Yes. Here we have Europe drawn considerably larger than South America. When it's 6.9 million square miles, South America is almost double at 3.8 million. Alaska appears 3 times as large as Mexico, when Mexico is larger by 0.1 million square miles. Germany appears in the middle of the map when it's in the northernmost quarter of the Earth. Wait. Relative size is one thing, but you're telling me that Germany isn't where we think it is? Nothing's where you think it is. Where is it? I'm glad you asked. The Peters projection. It has fidelity of axis, fidelity of position.
Oh my god, that's creepy. Please leave your thoughts.
This is what men need from a woman, or what they want from a woman. Don't argue with me, argue with your mother. I'm just here to tell you what I've seen men want from women. You know, if you don't want to give in to what men want, then that's your prerogative. If you're a man and thinks I don't know what I'm talking about, I promise you I do, but whatever, go argue with your mother. People are driven by identity and desire. So in terms of physical attractiveness, you either satiate a man's identity, how he presents himself in the world, how he wants the world to see them, or his desire, what he wants behind closed doors, what he's personally attracted to, what he's personally into. Now, if you check both of those boxes, then that's good. That's a very, very good sign for the longevity of your relationship with this man. Also, quick side note, men go for women that they can afford. Period. End of story. That is how they operate. That is how their brain works. They go for women that they can afford. And if they cannot afford you, they will resent you. I've made videos before talking about how men don't, who have money don't call women gold diggers. Gold digger was a word that was invented by broke men because they resented the woman that they couldn't afford. They will not waste their time with a woman that they feel like they cannot afford and who has a lot of different suitors who could give them a better lifestyle and give their children a better life and lifestyle than they could. They're not going to waste their time. And if you give a guy like that a chance, he's not going to respect you because he knows that if he were a woman in your position, he would be going after the bigger fishes. Okay, so he thinks there's something wrong with you and your judgment if you're going after him when you could be doing better. It's just the way it works. Men date in their tax bracket. Men date, you know, that is how they set their standards. And they will condemn women up and down for living by that too. But I'm telling you, that's the way the world spins. That's the way it works. Okay, this is number 2. Men do not feel comfortable around women. Okay, they desire women. They project all these fantasies onto women, but they don't feel comfortable around them. I think that we women don't give ourselves enough credit for how intimidated and bewildered men are by us, but that is the way it is. So if a man can feel comfortable around you, if he just feels at ease, it's not something that can be said, it's not something that can be articulated. But if a man just feels at ease when he's with you, if you're an easy person to talk to and get along with, that is going to take you so far. There are people who are married to women who do not feel comfortable around them. If society didn't judge men so harshly based on how attractive of a woman that they could get, I think that would supersede or would play more of a role in a man's decision making when it comes to choosing a partner than attractiveness would, how comfortable he is around a woman. But of course, since we live in the society we live in where we're all targeted against each other based on how attractive a woman you are or how attractive a woman that you can get, attractiveness is going to be at the height of a man's decision making. And this is number 3. You have to be detached. You have to be detached. There's something about the responsibility or the emotional responsibility that men detest. Like, it's just, if you hold an obligation to a man to love you or to be there for you, or he has the sense that you're not going to be okay without him there, or that you depend on him, or that you love him more than he loves you, or you need him more than he needs you, or that you're not going to be okay on yourself, or that you don't like yourself or love yourself and you need his validation, he'll play games with you, he'll string you along, he'll use you for what he needs to use you for, but he's not going to respect you as a person. He's certainly not going to choose you as a partner. And if he does choose you as a partner, it's not going to be an equal partnership. It's going to be more of him knowing he has the power, the advantage and the power dynamic of your relationship, and wielding that against you any chance that he gets. You have to be cool. You got to keep it pushing. If you don't want me anymore, cool, no problem. I don't need closure. I'm never gonna go to a man and be like, I need closure. Nope. I'll never talk to you again in my life. I do not give a fuck because I know that this is how it works. No. I will keep it pushing. I don't go through phones, and y'all have come after me about that before too. I'm not going to be sus of your female friends. I'm not going to go through your phone. If I sense the vibes are off, then I'm out, and it's not a conversation. It's not closure. Like, call it what you will. You have to understand that you have evolved through thousands and thousands and thousands of years to know when something is up, and you have been taught that unless you can justify every intuition you have with logic, then it's not a reasonable decision to act on that intuition alone. But it is. And I will act on that intuition alone. If I think you're cheating on me, then that's all I need to know. I'm not going to go through your phone. I'm not going to be crazy. I don't need closure. Those are things that men do not respect. Now, you do you. You do whatever you want to do. I'm just letting you know. Through doing this shit, that I'm telling you, it's the gospel truth.
Huh. What do you think about that, man?
When I was a kid, hopefully this isn't happening anymore, but I know it is. When I was a kid, I was taught a bunch of nonsensical things. Like, for example, that everybody thought the world was flat. Columbus was a super genius. He figured out it was a sphere. He went west, discovered the Americas. Like, at every level, that's just wrong. First of all, the ancient Egyptians discovered the earth was a sphere 2,600 years ago, 2,100 years before Columbus. Actually, let me rephrase what I said. I said they discovered the earth was a sphere. They proved the earth was a sphere. Pretty much everybody knew the earth was a sphere before that. It's just nobody could prove it until the ancient Egyptians sent a fleet of ships around Africa, and they completely circumnavigated Africa. And what they noticed 2,600 years ago is as they were traveling south, the sun's position moved from being in the southern sky directly overhead to the northern sky. And the constellations changed to constellations they'd never seen before. And then as they came around the southern tip of Africa and started heading north, the sun slowly moved from the northern sky or directly overhead back to the southern sky, and their old constellations returned, and they went, there's literally only one shape that could accommodate that experience. The earth is clearly a sphere. Done. So then that begs the question, why are we having this silly conversation about a guy figuring this out 2,100 years later? Now, obviously, one of the problems is Egyptians are brown, but there's also something else that's weird about this story. So, about 5 centuries after the Egyptians prove the earth is a sphere, there's a guy named Eratosthenes who's at the Great Library. And he's reading random stuff. The Great Library is in Alexandria, Egypt. He's reading random stuff, and one of the things he comes across is an account of a guy in Aswan. Aswan is the southernmost Egyptian city, not village. There are villages further south, but it's this last major city. And the guy in Aswan says, I happened to be there on the longest day of the year, and I happened to look into a well, and I noticed it cast no shadow. The wall of the well cast no shadow. And that's all I did. He just made the observation. Eratosthenes goes, oh, this is insane, this is incredible. Because he realizes he now has an angle. And he's read Euclid, all he needs is angle, side, angle. He's now got the triangle. Once he has angle, side, angle, he can do 2 things effectively. One, calculate the size of the earth, or, if he wanted to, calculate the distance to the sun. And so he hires a guy to walk from Alexandria to Aswan, and then he waits until the longest day of the year. He runs over to a well, looks into it, and he sees a shadow. He measures the angle on the shadow. He's now got angle. Now he just needs the length to Aswan. The guy walks to Aswan. He pays him for the trip. The guy tells him how many steps it was. And he's got a problem, right? It's not a straight road, and the earth is curved because it's a sphere. And he figures out a way to weed out all that error. And then he makes his calculation, what he thinks the length going through the planet would be from Aswan to Alexandria. And he nailed the Earth's size with 1% error. He was 99% right. Can you imagine? 21 centuries ago, somebody being able to make a calculation that was that accurate, having a guy walk from one city to the other. Like Eratosthenes was a genius. There's no 2 ways about it. They later on tried to apply this to the distance to the sun. They got a giant number, and they went, that's obviously wrong, and they dismissed it. But it wasn't wrong. It really is a giant number. They just couldn't comprehend that it could possibly be that far. But that's what they did. They figured out the size of the earth. What Columbus does is he rejects the size of the earth. Think about it. When he goes to Isabella to sell her on this scheme of going west to get to Japan and China, the scheme means that Japan and China would be where North America is. The only way that could be true is if the east-west distance of North America was missing and the east-west distance of the Pacific Ocean was missing. Right? For Japan and China to be where North America is, there can't be a Pacific Ocean or a North America. In other words, Columbus believed the Earth was roughly half the surface area that is. In other words, he was wrong about the Earth, not right about the Earth. And, just to make things funnier, he also thought the Earth was pear-shaped. He believed that the Garden of Eden would be by its nature very close to heaven. So as a result, where God put the Garden of Eden, the earth would bulge up. So it was more of a pear shape than a sphere. In other words, it wasn't that Columbus was a genius and he got it right. He was an idiot and he got it wrong. And that's what the Portuguese were telling him. When he went to the Portuguese first, said, if we go west, we'll be there. The Portuguese are like, you're an idiot. The distance is too great, you'll never make it. We don't have a ship that can cross the east-west distance of the Atlantic, the east-west distance of North America, and the east-west distance of the Pacific. You'll get a third of the way. You'll run out of fresh water and food. Your men will mutiny a sixth of the way because they won't want to go the trip because they'll realize it's a suicide mission. And so they tell him no. He goes to Isabella. Isabella does the math. She's like, if he's right, I'm going to be filthy rich. If he's wrong, I lose 3 ships. Big deal. So she sends him on a suicide, what everybody believes is a suicide mission. Because everybody knows the size of the earth. We've known the size of the earth by that point for 1,600 years.
Wow. Do you think that the guy is right?
Y'all see what's going on with the world, y'all? This was in Maine yesterday, okay? This is an old orchard in Maine. As you can see, the ocean is behind them. See, last night they experienced heavy amounts of rainfall. I think they experienced a storm actually. And the storm coupled with the heavy rain, and then of course it snowed before as well, and they experienced flooding. People's cars got stuck. As you can see, water going inside of people's houses and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yes, the whole streets are flooded. There's water in people's homes. Like I said, cars were getting stuck. Look at that, y'all. Literally, the ocean is in Maine. Wow. And here's a drone footage of the flooding that is going on in Maine right now, you guys. I don't even know what to say, because like every single day there's something spectacular happening around the world. Y'all see that, right? Big changes are here. It's not even coming anymore. The changes are here, as you can see, every single day. Look at that, y'all. And look at all that dirt, the snow. Just wow. The world is shifting, y'all. I be telling y'all, the world is shifting. The shift is here. But yeah, just in case you guys didn't know, this is what happened in Maine. Heavy rains, snowstorms, flooding. Here we go. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. And weather is definitely getting more interesting right now, you guys. The weather has a mind of its own. Mother Earth is alive, y'all, and things are coming back into balance. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, share, and follow for more videos like this, y'all. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in.
Oh my god, man. That's scary.
Watch this interview from Al Worden.
Do you believe in aliens? And I say, yeah. Have you ever seen one? I say, yeah, I have. Well, how have you seen them? Well, I said, I look in the mirror every morning. Because that's what we are. We are the aliens, but we just
think we're the thing.
We just think they're somebody else, but we're the ones who came from somewhere else. Because somebody else had to survive, and they got in a little spacecraft, and they came here, and they landed, and they started civilization here. That's what I believe. And if you don't believe me, go get books on the ancient Sumerians and see what they had to say.
That's a whole different discussion.
You have the Anunnaki, the gods of the Sumerians, whose literal meaning is those who from the sky came. It's said that they came here 450,000 years ago and had hybrid children with the people of this earth.
Clearly, you believe there's a cover-up.
Yes. I think it's about time that we do disclose that we are in contact with non-human intelligence. That's what needs to be put out there in the public.
Tim.
Oh my god.
The moon is below the horizon by quite some way. Moon, horizon.
Oh man, that is suspicious.
But it makes no sense. I really have to tell you, and I'm not gonna mince my words. Egyptians never claimed to be the builders of the pyramids, ever. Egyptians believed in what's called Kemet, another civilization which was technologically way more advanced. It's worth mentioning that even the locals didn't believe that the pyramids were built to be tombs of the pharaohs. This belief wasn't even developed until 150 years ago. A bunch of men from high societies decided that the pyramids should have been built by the pharaohs. This belief has been relayed by some academics such as Howard Carter. His colleagues joined and gathered around the idea, and that's it, finish. End of game. Meanwhile, there is no proof, no evidence of that. It's worth mentioning that when you go through those pyramids of Giza, there's not one single hieroglyph in any of them whatsoever. There was never a mummy found in any Egyptian pyramids, ever. Quite literally. The only reason why we are told those things is because that was the theory developed by those men that went in there in the late 19th century and said, I believe those must have been the pharaohs building that. That makes sense. So, it's just one group of people had one theory, and that theory just stuck around 100% since 150 years. Thing is that megalithes used to build pyramids, most of them weighs up to 80 tons. Reality is that we nowadays would have no clue how to build a pyramid. We are not enough advanced technologically. Then I'm going to tell you the real origins of a pyramid. I know that it's going to shock you.
Go hug a tree if you want to feel good. That's not nonsense. A tree roots go deep into the ground. They're anchored, they're spread out, the branches, the roots, and the energy that comes up through the tree. When you hug a tree, you become part of that energy. And people say, well, I didn't feel a thing. Well, yeah, I understand that. But look where you're coming from. How many trees have you hugged? And would you hug a tree if somebody watched you hugging a tree? Would you feel comfortable enough to still do it? You see, there's things you have to do to overcome.
Oh, man. You see, love nature, man, and treat it nicely.
Monster.
Oh, what is that thing? Is that some fish or what is that thing? Oh man, that's interesting. Oh, what creative, very creative.
The sun is in the clouds. Or in the cloud, shall we say. See, I just revealed the cloud behind it, part of it.
Do you think the sun is really far away? Oh my god, that's a very big man. Ha!
gonna believe what I got on camera. Check this out. Take a closer look, check it out. And we followed it all the way home. Turns out the government knew about this already. Here's another one I got in my backyard. Check it out.
Follow to see more.
Do you think that is Bigfoot? Or what is that?
They got you thinking, oh, this is how they look. Cap!
Facts.
Get out of here. Cap!
Facts.
The real creator is darkness. And it's an energy. You hear me? So
Facts.
what if I was to tell you this movie is about the origins of a certain people?
Facts. Facts.
Look, see how the DNA strand? This is how this really goes. Huh?
Follow me for more.
So they want you to think, oh no, you are created in the darkness of energy. That's who runs things, baby. See, they gave light the wrong title. Light ain't what you think it is.
Facts.
Darkness ain't what you think it is. You think darkness is bad.
Oh my god, that is scary!
We found the OK guy after 10 years. You guys might remember this Vine that was seen over 100 million times. I did a video on him back in 2020 trying to figure out what happened to him, but there was no luck. Until now, a TikToker actually stumbled upon him while biking through Rwanda in Africa and instantly knew who he was. The OK guy works 3 jobs as a barber, farmer, and tour guide and absolutely loves his life off of social media. And the reason we haven't seen him much on social media is because he lives in a small village in Rwanda that doesn't get much access from the outside world other than tourists. And never forget that the woman who filmed the video thought that he was being awkward just because he found her attractive. And he debunked it and said it was all just a figment of her imagination. You're cooked. And he is just now finding out how big that video really got. And he introduced the explorer to his wife and 3 kids in the rest of his village, and it's safe to say he's been living a great life. And he might be coming back to the internet. Just imagine a 10-year-old childhood meme coming back.
Oh man, you see, that is interesting.
Do not do.
Yo, good people, thanks for watching up to this far, man. You are loved and respected. You see that video of that guy and those videos that has passed, they have a lot they were saying and projecting, you see? And they drive you to leave your thoughts on everything, on all that, man. But that guy has really taught us something. You see, if that video was of 10 years ago and it hit sometime, that is incredible, man. What you do now, it doesn't matter if you don't see the results immediately. If you are doing good and maybe life hasn't been easy on you, things have been a little bit tough, don't worry. Good fruits, good seeds, they never dry. You see, eventually you'll see the fruits. Just just do keep on doing good and be grateful for life, you see, and love people unconditionally. Good vibes, man.